Hello, it's Mike from TradeWinds RV Center here to congratulate you on your Forest River Rockwood Roo 23 BDS hybrid travel trailer. I'm going to walk you around it, show you how to use a few things to get the best out of your camping experience. Let's start by talking about arriving at the campsite. A couple things to take into consideration when you're parking. On your campsite, I want you to leave plenty of room for that awning. On your off campsite, beside your slide, I also want you to think about where your power and water connections are going to be. Your power is going to be right behind your tires on your driver's side of your tow vehicle. And your water hookup for campsites is going to be in this rear corner. So park accordingly so you can utilize the facilities at the campsite. Once we arrive and unhook our hitch, next thing we're going to do is level our unit. The unit comes with a power tongue jack. Night docking light should you arrive at night. Bring this up or down. Should you lose power, underneath this rubber stopper, the short silver hand crank will get inside there and turn the nut up and down to get this up and down. Speaking of power, check the battery posts. Make sure you haven't wiggled those loose over time. Once we get our unit level, next thing we're going to do is stabilize it. All four corners of the unit got these scissor stabilizing jacks, 3/4 inch hand crank. Just go ahead and start running them down. As I do, I'm going to recommend stabilizing jack pads. Jack pads are going to protect the feet of your stabilizing jacks from dirt, debris, hot blacktop in the summer. It'll better distribute the weight. Got a 10% off coupon. Go ahead and utilize that and grab a 4-pack of those. Put them down underneath these and run these down just until they're taut. Remember, we're already level. All we're trying to do at this point is stabilize it. So once you've got resistance on your hand crank, go ahead and stop. Get all four of those down. Got our unit level and stable. Next thing we can do is hook up our power and water. Again, your power cord, big long 30 amp cord, plugs in right behind your tires here. Ready to plug in now. Is at about 11 o'clock. Push it in and then turn it to noon. Put that gray washer on there like that. You're locked in. Now, should you need to plug into a 110, get the convenience pack. You got a 30 to 15 amp reducer to plug into a 110. There's power hooked up. Let's hook up our water. Our water. Rear corner. At campsites, we're going to hook up to city water connection. First and foremost, your water pressure regulator. These water pressure regulators are going to reduce water pressure to 40 to 50 psi. Protecting the lines in your unit. Always use these because you don't know what the water pressure is at different campsites. Open up city water connection. Put your water pressure regulator on. Hook up your hose, but don't turn your hose on yet. Let's find your hot water heater. Yours is over on the campsite, just to the right of your entry doorway. And all we're doing at this point, folks, making sure our drain plug's back in here. May have left it out the last time you were camping. Get that back in there nice and snug. I believe it's an 1.1/8 socket. Put plumber's tape on there, not putty. Putty will gum up on you. Get that in there nice and snug. Once that's in there tight, you can go ahead and turn that hose on. Now, after your hose is turned on to city water, go inside, open up our slide if we need to. I want you to be able to get to the bathroom, the kitchen, and open up all of your water lines. Get a nice steady flow of water going through them. Get all the air out of the lines. Once you got a steady flow of water, shut them off and you're all set to camp. While I'm here at the hot water heater, let me mention a couple other things. If it doesn't seem to be working, you turn it on a couple spots indoors. If it doesn't seem to be working, come out here and see if either one of these are bubbled up. If they are, simply press them back in. And down here you have an on-off electric element. That is set to off. Pretty much keep it to off. The only time you ever really want to turn that to on is if you're hooked up to 110. Otherwise, you turn this on indoors. Now let's say we're going to go camping and we're not going to go to a campsite. We're going to go dry camping. In that case, we're going to fill up our freshwater tank. That is toward the front of the unit on your off campsite, just to the right of your big storage area here. So no need for a water pressure regulator here. Simply use a hose, gravity fill it. Two ways to tell when it's full. One, there's an overflow valve right here, or two on the inside where you check the levels of your black and gray tanks. There's also a freshwater button. Once that's full, also do not leave this unattended while you're filling it. Once it's full, remove that hose, put that cap back on, and then whenever you want to utilize that water, you'll turn on your water pump. Don't turn on your water pump when hooked up to city water. It's already pressurized. All right, we got power and water. We're pretty much set to camp. I'm gonna go ahead and walk you around the rest of the outside of the unit. On an off-camp side here, continuing, you got a docking lights, which are these lights right up here on the front. That's the switch for that. Below our fresh water, front of that is our storage. Below our fresh water is our freshwater drain. Big white handle to pull on there to open up the fresh water. On your slides, as a reminder, you want to keep these pliable over the years, these wiper seals. They do have a spray that you can purchase to get on these to keep them pliable. Adds to the longevity of the life, keeps them from dry rotting on you. Storage bag for your power cord. An extra amperage reducer that the previous customer left. There's a table that hooks up outside where your griddle does. Back here's a flue for your furnace. Couple things on that. One, make sure it's never blocked. Two, if you are running your furnace, steer clear of that. It says hot for a reason. Maybe it gets hot. Black tank flush. We'll talk about that when we dump our black and gray tanks down here. Here's where you hook up your cable at the campsite. Again, our power. You got an outdoor hot and cold shower. Down here's our low point drains. Find them. There they are. Easier to see from here. Low point drains. Above that, you got our city water. Here's where you put your antifreeze in, which reminds me, right inside here's an access panel for your water pump, water filter. Here's a handle for changing that out, and your access line to your water pump to bypass your hot water heater for winterizing. Spare tire with a cover. We'll bring this back bed down here shortly. You're prepped for a backup camera. You've got a big awning here. Coming down our campsite, you got a couple of outdoor speakers. Scare light, they call it. A vent for your hood range indoors. You're set for a TV out here. You can plug it in there. There's a cable 110 for that. Here's an area for your griddle as well as your table that I showed you on the other side with your Quick Connect LP right there. Again, our hot water heater. There's a hole for a manual override for your slide. And this hand crank right here that has the slotted end, that's what you go put in there to catch the slots to manually override your slide in case you lose power. The other side of our storage. Prep for solar, you can plug in a solar panel right here and that'll trickle charge your batteries. Speaking of batteries, again, check your battery post every now and then, make sure nothing's wiggled loose. Propane does come off a regulator pointed toward the tank you wish to be using. Green means you've got gas, of course, lefty-loosey to open. Well, it covers everything out here. We'll take a look on the inside. Coming up inside the unit, first thing I always like to point out is your fire extinguisher. To the left of the entry doorway, make sure you and everyone that's camping with you knows that that's located at the entry doorway in case of an emergency. Coming straight in, it's going to be our control panel. Thermostat up top, we'll get to that in a minute. I'm going to go straight down in order here. So here's your brand new battery. Here's where you check the levels of your fresh, black, and gray tanks. That freshwater button's one I said to hold down when filling that. Once that's full, remove that hose. Over here is where you turn on your hot water heater if hooked to electric. Over here if hooked to gas. It does make a difference, choose correctly. Turn on that water pump to utilize that fresh water tank. Your slide control, I'll use that when we close that back up. Awning, you only want to run your awning out on extend until you can see your silver bar and that flap has fell down to 90 degrees. If you hold that extend down, that will run itself out past that point and start to run itself up backwards. So keep an eye on it when you run it out. Make sure you don't run it out further than you need to. When it comes in, I'm going to shut off the awning lights, which are down here. Which also brings me interior lights, that porch light, awning lights, Wi-Fi connection. I'll send you a video on a Wi-Fi arranger from Forest River and how to hook that up. 110 here, as well as a 110 with GFCI reset right here. These doors, slam locks work best when gently slammed. I'm going to head right into our kitchen here. Plumbing on trailers. You have an access panel down in here. Right there is actually where you bypass your hot water heater. It's running normal when pointing toward the tank. Right to left when bypassing. Maintain your plumbing. Looks like it's all PEX nowadays. Up here is your microwave. Show you that working real quick. Down below that you've got a light and fan above your cooktop. On the cooktop, this glass top makes an excellent backsplash. Just fold that back. Make sure your gas is on. Turn it to where it says light. Hit your spark and just how quickly these light up. Same thing on the oven. You'll turn this to light. Hit the spark here. Open it up. Make sure your pilot light lit. And then turn this to your desired temperature. Put this glass top down for travel. Dometic fridge controls up top. Turn that on. Real quickly, auto means when you're plugged in, you're running off electricity. As soon as you unplug, you'll go to gas. Push it or let up the gas button. Now we're on gas. If this button lights up, check your gas. Usually keep that on auto. Your settings for temperature are all inside. Just real quick, you do thumb push on that. That'll open these up. Down below the fridge is going to be your breaker box and fuses. Ton of 15s, A40. Highly recommend having some of those with you when you go camping. Actually, a couple 40s in there. 12-volt carbon monoxide propane detector. Your griddle that I told you sets up outside. You've got these little, I call them iPad stands back in the day, but nice little area that you can set a little dinette eating. You've got recliners that push back down with your feet, and this also becomes a Murphy bed. Show you how to do that real quick. Remove these. The bed will fold down just by lifting up on this handle. Once that's down, we're going to come up and release both of these. Lock on this side, as well as that one's already done. Just pull it towards you. Be careful. These legs will fold out towards you. With this on here, there's your bed. Now going back up, you want to pull on this in order to release that. A little tricky one-handed, but we'll get her. There we go. Jack out this sofa back up, makes it a little easier to get up in here. And when I get my other hand loose, so we'll lock them back in. Continuing around the unit, your table will jackknife down. If you flick this yellow to the right, this will jackknife down. Put it on top of these. Put your flat cushions on top. That'll give you another sleeping quarters. Alright, so I located your remote. Turn your TV on. I will tell you on your TV, when you arrive at the campsite, go to the menu, run your digital channel scan. That'll allow you to pick up all the local channels. Sound through the sound bar. Come down here to this sound system. AM, FM, Bluetooth.
Thank you very much.
So zoned, 1 is indoors, 3 is outdoors. I have not found any sound in number 2. So where that's supposed to go to, I'm not sure. But we have indoor and outdoor. Indoor and outdoor. AM, FM, again, Bluetooth. Nice sound system. TV, audio, you can run through here, through the sound bar. Touch it once to mute it. Hold it to shut it off. Antenna. Crank that all the way to the right. Push in and crank it to the left when you arrive to the right to go up, to the left to bring down, excuse me. Coming into our bedroom. Bathroom. Do have a hand crank open. Power exhaust vent here. 4 speeds on that. a shower that you want to have snapped closed for travel. Don't want that bouncing around. Another 110 below. Access panel to your plumbing. You can kind of see through there, but access panel, keep an eye on that. And lastly, our bunk. Show you how to bring that down right after I run over the thermostat. Alright, it's kind of hot in here. Turn it to 55, turn on the AC. The AC also has a quick dump. Dump the cold air right here on top of you. If you close them, it'll go through the vents. Close one, it'll do both. Come back here, shut the AC off. Turn the heat on. Hear that on. Now generally when you shut the heat off, most times it takes a few minutes to cycle through before it actually shuts off. On our bed, we're gonna have a shepherd's hook inside here. Gonna be curved on one end and flat on the other. We'll go outside and let this down, but when we come back in, that curved end will stay out here. This end will push in and out. Alright, we'll go ahead and bring this out from out here. Normally we'd have these locked. Walk this down. Now we're going to go inside and push it out. So I've found it easiest to reach back in here, lift that bar up, lay our mattress down, because then we can get to this bar a little easier. Again, flat end, we'll go right here in the middle. Push that up and out. And then this curved end will go into a slot back here that I'll show you real quick here. That's how that'll slide in there. Just reverse the process, put it back down. Push back out on that. Release this. And again, I'll tuck that bar down underneath the mattress. Pull the mattress up, tuck that bar back down, and then lift this back up and lock it. Alright, now it's act like we're leaving the campsite and close the unit up. Let's just start by shutting off my interior lights. Then I can walk through and see any individual lighting I need to shut off. Make sure your vents are closed. Come back here, turn on my interior, and say doors and drawers. Make sure all doors and drawers are closed. Nothing's going to impede this slide from coming in. TV is back all the way on its mount. You don't want that out here getting broke. Antenna down. Slide in. Short little slide, comes in pretty quick. Again, you see the importance of having all the doors on this cabinet over here closed, as well as have our TV tucked back. I wanted you to hear that noise. That is just the slide mechanism saying I'm in all the way. There's nothing wrong with that. You'll hear it on every unit. Oh, I do see another light on the way out. Now these stairs, biggest thing is make sure your entry doorway is all the way open. Otherwise this will catch on it. Adjustable feet. See, this pretty much lifts itself up. Adjustable feet as well from the cotter here. Set that inside. Before you leave the dump station, lock and deadbolt your door, lift and turn the handle. That's how you want that to travel. If we are out dry camping, I'm going to bring up our stabilizing jacks. Get up underneath our fresh water here. Open up that way handle, dump that fresh water tank, hook up our hitch, and either head on home to the nearest dump station, whatever we're in need of. If we are at a campsite, we'll unhook our power, our water, our cable, hook up our hitch, bring up our stabilizer jacks first, hook up our hitch, and head on up to the dump station. Now at the dump station, park accordingly. Your dump is going to be right behind your tires on your driver's side of your tow vehicle. 10-foot hose comes with your convenience pack. Hook that up and pull that black handle on the right side. That's going to be your sewage. When it sounds like it's no longer draining, go inside, check the level of your black tank. If it shows empty or a little bit in there, that's fine. Come back out here, leave that handle open, grab the hose at the dump station, and hook it up to this tank flush. Let that run for a good 5 minutes, emphasizing with that black handle open. It's going to wash all that nastiness out of your black tank. When that's done, remove that hose. Make sure all the washout you just put in there has drained. If it has, close that black handle, pull your gray handle. Now a couple things I do when my drays are draining. Dump my low point drains. Get in there and open them up. Come to my hot water heater. If you're not going to be camping for a while, you don't want to leave water in here and get it all stagnant. Get up in here. Lift up on this pressure release valve. Now be careful. There's some hot water coming out of there. When that's done, push this back down. Otherwise your door's not going to close. And then you can pull that drain plug for the residual hot water. When your grays are done, check inside, make sure they're empty. If they are, close that gray handle, grab that sewage hose, and conveniently and sanitarily store it right here in your bumper. And head on home. Again, thank you guys so much for your purchase. Hope you enjoy this rule for many years to come. Happy camping.